This is Irina Scott. Irina lives in a tiny little hamlet in the countryside. Irina often finds herself alone, an outcast or outsider, if you will. Luckily for her, she does enjoy her own company, but she does often find herself dreaming of more companionship. This is not what she has in mind. Her days are quite simple, as life in the hamlet tends to be, and most nights wind up at the pub, as most nights in the hamlet tend to do. One day, Irina's life takes a blind turn when she wins an essay contest online, with the grand prize being a week's vacation in Sulani. Irina had never even allowed herself to dream of something so distant and exotic before, but she packs her bags, leaves the gossip and judging eyes of the hamlet behind, and intends to spend one glorious week in paradise. At first, it was everything she expected, and she spent her time doing everything that was expected. Swimming, relaxing, talking to the locals, trying the local cuisine, that might not have gone as well as she had hoped. And as her dream week neared the end, Irina was invited to the fire dancing festival in the village. At first, it was a bit awkward. She found it quite like back home. Her all alone, everyone else talking, drinking, and dancing. But after a few helpings of a local beverage, she was feeling far less like an odd duck and much more like one of the gang. As the night went on, however, Irina may have partaken in a bit too much of the specialty beverage, and as dawn broke, she would have found herself shocked to know she was naked on the beach, making advances on the most handsome man she'd ever seen in her life. I say she would have been shocked to know if she could have at all remembered it. Ooh, but that's the strange side effects of too much beverage. Instead, Irina woke on a deserted beach and spent her last day sulking about having to go home. That night, as the full moon rose over her little island, the very man she could not remember from the night before came out of the water and stood before her in all his glory. This time, unlike the night they met, Irina would remember everything about the night that unfolded, as it was as if the most private dream she never dared dream had somehow come to life. A few days later, Irina had returned to the hamlet, glowing with happiness, if not a tan. But as she began to tell some of her friends about the experience with the mysterious man, they rolled their eyes and accused her of making it all up. Irina spent the next 2 months being the laughingstock of the hamlet until she could take it no longer. She sold her land to old Mr. McGregor, who'd been trying to steal it from her for years, and she returned to the island to see for herself if it had all been a dream. It wasn't long, though, before Irina realized that she had a lot more to deal with than petty gossip, and she needed to figure some things out, and fast.